Right, take the gas, let's take that nigga go that ride.
Good ride.
That's what I do.
This is B.Reid here with Full of Hunger Boxing. I'm here with somebody who I got a lot of love for. This is gonna be a special one. Knew this man for years. I'll take it back to when we first met. He walked into my gym and I was training at the time. He walks in and anybody familiar with boxing culture and how it works, if a stranger walks in the gym, you're looking at him like, yo, this is potentially work. So I'm looking at him and my man comes up to me and says, nah, that's a light heavyweight. So I'm like, all right, cool, get back to doing what I'm doing. He jumps in the ring with me a few minutes later and we're doing a defensive drill. So there's a rope in the ring and we're rolling under the rope, doing some punches. I think Adrian Russell was running that camp, right? I mean, that training. So ain't no telling what we was doing with Adrian. We probably throwing punches and flipping at the same time. we doing our workout and I'm in front. So I'm weighing about 150 pounds at the time. You fighting that light heavyweight at the time, yeah, so you were about 178. So Hakim is behind me. So I'm rolling under the rope, throwing punches, and like any other sport, the smaller guy is usually the faster guy. So with Hakim behind me, I'm throwing the punches, rolling under, but I feel like he's right behind me the whole time we're doing this drill. So each time we get to the end of the ring and we turn back around, I'm thinking I'm gonna speed it up so that I can get some distance between me and him. That didn't happen. So in my mind, I think there's no way he's a light heavyweight. He's moving the way he's moving. But as I got to know him, I see that this is how he moves, this is how he does his drills. Everything's 100%, and that's why he's the top echelon of a fighter. So let me introduce Hakim Tito Lopez, 9-0, 6 knockouts, now at super middleweight. What's going on, man? So let's take it to you, and I want you to explain to them who you are.
Okay, I'm Hakim Tito Lopez, 9-0, super middleweight, extensive amateur, decorated amateur. I'm from Atlanta, and this is where I get to that.
Definitely. So we back here at Granite City Boxing. You saw the last one with B. Norman, and we back here, so that lets you know the type of talent that they got in this gym. So if you come to Atlanta, don't come over here and get caught slipping, because they will put a beating on you. But we get to experience Hakim at this point, and I want the people to know exactly who you are, everything that you've been through leading up to this point.
Okay.
So let's take it back to your first time in a boxing gym. When did that happen?
It started, I want to say 2009. Okay. 2009, my pops, he was in New York at the time.
Okay.
So I call him up and I tell him like, yo, Pop, well, I'm walking home from school. Mm-hmm. So I call him like, yo, Pop, I see this gym. It's in Lithonia. So Pop, I see this gym. I really want to be in it. Like, I really want to do this.
Yeah.
He on the phone like, yo, no, you don't. You just want to fight in the street. He was like, yeah. I talk to you when I get back home. I hung up the phone. A week later, he's still in New York.
Yeah.
I call him like, yo, Pop, you heard what I said last time. I really want to get in the gym. This is something I really want to do. He like, man, you don't want to do that, man. Honestly, I really think my pops was testing me, you know what I'm saying, to see if I really wanted it, you know what I'm saying, because if I ask more, oh nah, he's serious. So the last time I asked him, he was like, all right, Hawk, listen, when I come back in town, we're gonna really talk about this. But he was like, what I'm gonna need you to do is, you're gonna have to pick up your grades, you're gonna have to stop fighting, I don't wanna hear no calls from school, no suspension, and I think about you getting into the gym.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. The moment I hung up the phone, that was the test right there. I felt as though I had to win at that.
Yeah.
So what I did, next day school, picking up my grades that year, staying out of trouble. And mind you, he gave me a 3-month. I had to do this for 3 months to show him that I was like real serious. Mm-hmm. So what I did was I took that 3 months and I did it, and he was shocked.
Yeah.
He was shocked. So he was so shocked that when he got into town, he was like, yo, let's go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he was like, nah, let's go. We walk into the gym, Granite City, and it's crazy because like, we walk in there, he look around, he looking at the fighters, he looking at the tier of the fighters there to see like they level.
Yeah.
So he looking around, he was like, yo, Hop, in 3 months, I'm gonna make you ahead of all these guys. Like that. And in 3 months he did. In 3 months, I fought in my first junior Olympics.
Man, that's
and won
big.
silver medal too.
That's big.
Yeah.
So how old were you at the time?
I was 15.
15.
I was 15.
So you 15 at the time. This is the time that you fought or the time that you got into the gym?
Time that I got into the gym was 14.
Got you.
Remember, I had to use that whole year to I had to use some of that year to get my grades right, and then the rest of the year I was training.
Gotcha.
And then when I got in there, the Coach Tate, he told my pops, like, listen, your son different. He need to be moving. So from there, we trained for the Olympics. So I went to my first Olympic trials, but only like less than 11 fights, and that's what you need.
Crazy.
So we went there, and then so from the JO Olympic that was in Florida, I won my spot to be on the national team. So once I went to the nationals, you know what I'm saying, I won.
That's a crazy speed, bro.
Yeah.
That's a crazy speed. Like, I didn't realize how fast.
Yeah, it was real.
Yeah.
No, a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that it was that fast.
That's real. That's real. So how many fights total did you have as an amateur?
Leading up to that point,
Just as a whole, like when you finish your amateur career.
I had about 100.
That's real.
I had like 102, 103 fights.
That's real. So
203 fights, 9 losses, and I had a nice number of knockouts in the amateurs.
That's real though. That's crazy how fast. For those who don't know, like moving that fast is like crazy. Like you don't see. You could go back to any superstar that you want. You probably will not see anybody moving at that speed. So understand how crazy that is. Let's go back to you in school. So you were that kid who was fighting, getting in trouble,
not trying to listen.
Yeah.
I always been like kind of hardhead growing up. You know, been a hardhead growing up. Didn't know how not to stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
It was just like a magnet when I, you know what I'm saying? But like something inside of me always knew like, nah, like I could do something better. You know what I'm saying? I could be using this energy something better. Even though I would do what I do, I always tell myself like, nah, I could be doing something fucking better.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And when the opportunity presented itself, I took it.
And that was boxing. Dope. So you, after that point, your pops give you the green light. You mentioned that he was in New York. Is that the origin of where you from? Or?
No, my pops, he's from New York. I'm from New Jersey.
Okay.
I was born in New Jersey. I grew up down here.
Okay. So. And then you moved here at 13, 14?
I moved there at 13.
13. So 13, give yourself that year, then you get in the boxing gym. Now we pushing, now we working.
Going crazy.
And I can't believe how quick it was.
That's honestly, it's crazy because like being that young, right? And I told you like when the opportunity came, I took it. Being that young at 14 years old, when my pops gave me that ultimatum to like either I'm gonna change the way I am or stay. Like that's honestly when I first became like very disciplined.
I was about to say
I changed everything.
Yeah, that's the discipline right there. So to me, when he's saying that, just coming from a father's perspective, that's like instilling the discipline straight away. Like, look, this is what you gotta do. And with you being able to reach that goal, you know, as a father, it's like, yo, I gotta do whatever I gotta do to make him keep that going. Cause that's a big turnaround to go from I'm getting in trouble in school and doing this to now I got my grades straight and I'm focused.
Because my dream and my will to want to fight, to start following this passion, it was greater than the getting in trouble in school or like being this type of cool guy for my friends. It was greater than that. So I seen that and I'm like, yo, nah, friends, parties, nah, I see that later.
So was it love? Like as soon as you got into it, like as soon as you started boxing, it was just like love, and it was like I'm sticking with it?
Yeah, it definitely was like that because first, I always loved fighting.
Yeah.
I did it for nothing, you know. I always loved fighting. So the moment they telling me that I could do something that I've been doing with a reward that gets bigger through the years, I was sold.
Yeah.
I was sold.
Yeah.
And the first time I seen my first medal, I was sold.
Yeah.
I was sold on the game.
That's dope. So you understood the big picture that with the work ethic, excuse me, with the work ethic, you'll be able to continue to do something that you were doing anyway for free, and you could get a reward for it. So with you progressing the way you progressed, because you really went at a rapid pace to a high level.
Right.
What was something that propelled you to get to that point?
I'm gonna say the most is having my pops, because he always told me that, like, he would never allow me to think that what I did was enough.
Gotcha.
And he will always remind me that there's always more to be done, you know. So then he growing up with a saying that he used to tell me all the time is that if you live 1 year, like nobody will, then you live the rest of your life like nobody can. So,
That's real.
so I always kept that in my head, and I just kept going hard.
That's real. I like that. I like that saying. So when you were an amateur, what type of rewards did you receive as an amateur?
I got multiple Golden Glove, Golden Glove states, Golden Glove regionals. I've been to the nationals, Junior Olympic silver medalist. I won the Olympic trials to go fight on the Olympic trial, the official Olympic trial team for a spot in that. It was counting things. I've been to the nationals my whole amateur career.
That's real. That's real. So what would you say is the mindset you gotta have when you compete at that level? Because there's a mindset that you gotta have boxing, period.
Right.
Because you really gotta love the sport if you're gonna box. Because you're getting punched in the face for free.
Yeah.
Way more than you're getting paid for it. So when you get to that level where you're competing at that high level on a national level, what mindset do you gotta have when you're doing at that level?
There's the preparation and there's the action, right? So the preparation mindset that you gotta have is like, I gotta be the most conditioned. I gotta be the most conditioned. I gotta be the one with the most will, right? And then when you get there, when you get to what you was training for, that mindset is the kill mindset, to where everything in your way has to be eliminated.
Gotta go.
Yeah.
That's real. So explain to people, because to me, in my opinion, we have a lot of people who are in or pay attention to boxing who don't really understand it. So tell what your day is from day to day. Like when you wake up in the morning and you begin your day, what's your day like?
I had a regular training day, right? I wake up in the morning. That's 4:30 to 5. After my run, I'm running like 6 miles. 6 miles max right now, because that helped me drop my weight. So after I run 6 miles, I come back to the house. I'm eating breakfast, and then I go lay down. I lay down. When I wake up at 10.
Okay.
10 o'clock starts my first training session. So training, and every day from Monday to Friday, I got a different workout, a different regimen every day. So I'm in the gym from 10 to 1, from Monday to Friday, and then after that, from after like in the middle between like that 2 to 6, when I gotta go back to the gym the second time, I'm either doing like something that ease my time, you know what I'm saying? Either resting, eating lunch, just doing something that's just gonna bypass the time for me.
Gotcha.
Then I'm back in the gym the second time from 6 to 10, and that's my second workout, and that's when I do like I probably do strength and conditioning, Or I'm trimming down everything that I didn't work out in my first session. So my day be really busy as hell.
Yeah,
like really busy.
A lot of work. That's a lot of work. So when I met you, you were fighting at the light heavyweight division.
Right.
Did you start your boxing career at light heavyweight?
No, I didn't.
So where did you start?
I started it at 201.
201, so heavyweight. And then you came down to light heavyweight.
Light heavyweight, yeah.
And then for your pro career, you're at super middle.
Yeah.
So when you made that transition from heavyweight to light heavyweight to super middleweight, was it something that you anticipated? Was it like, yo, this is what I want to do? Or was it something that you just put in so much work that you just started trimming up and you got down?
We knew it was coming. We knew it was coming. That's why we always thought about it. You know, since the beginning that like, yo, you're gonna trim all the way down to 160 something or 175. We knew we was coming down.
Yeah.
Which made it more obvious was the hard work. Every time we put in the hard work, way to just drop down fast. So when I was fighting at heavyweight, hard work would be so much that I'd be dropping down in the 80s. I have to go eat to fight, And then once we decide like, yo, we're gonna go down to 178, we go to 178, put in so much hard work at 178 that we'll be dropping down close to 169. So we'll be like, yo, you know what? 168 is gonna be it in the pros. So.
What would you say the difference is in the competition from weight class to weight class?
They damn sure don't hit as they don't hit as hard as I thought. I'm faster with my hands. I already been like fast with my head movement and my feet, but sometimes I be moving fast as heck with my hands.
I thought your hands was fast at 178. Like,
yeah, but
to be honest,
it's faster.
Yeah.
I be sometimes punching faster than I be moving my damn feet sometimes, and I like to be in the right square. You know what I'm saying? The right balance.
Mm-hmm.
And I be moving. And I move fast as hell. So.
Yeah. For people who haven't seen him yet, I mean, obviously after this interview, you're gonna want to pay attention, but to see him in the ring, he has great head movement, and he throws in combinations where it's like, I mean, if he applies pressure, I've seen him apply pressure to the point where you can't even think what you're gonna do next, and he's just throwing, and everything is coordinated. It's not somebody like, don't think of an amateur who's just throwing punches nonstop trying to score. He's actually setting up punches, and he's putting himself in position where he's actually going to take advantage of what you're doing. So it's smart pressure that he's applying. So think of it that way. But somebody you're gonna be entertained watching him, but you're gonna be blown away by his skill level at the same time. So we're coming down. We're at 178. How many? Matter of fact, before we get there, let's break up your amateur career. Did you have more fights at the heavyweight division or at the light heavyweight division?
I had more fights. At heavyweight.
At heavyweight?
Yeah, I had more fights at heavyweight.
And then you switched over to light heavyweight. Now, when you spar, do you stay in that range, or do you still feel like, I could go in there with?
No, I do. I take myself a little bit back up to where I was, and take myself a little bit down. So I give a wide range of sparring partner.
Different looks.
Yeah, different looks. So if today I'm feeling like, yo, we gonna spar somebody that's at heavyweight, I'm sparring them. But that's how that goes. It's all strategic. Yeah. So if I need somebody that's coming with power, I get a heavyweight. Yeah. If I need somebody that's coming with speed, I get a middleweight. Yeah.
So you get the best of everything. And that's a well-rounded fighter, because you gain a lot of different looks. So you want to get somebody that could bang, so you can take those hits, but then you get somebody who's moving a lot faster, so that your defense stays tight. So you're catching those punches and you're able to work off of what he's doing. So that's something that's real as far as the training is concerned. So let's keep pushing. When did you turn pro?
2018.
2017. And so talk us through, you know, that feeling of your first pro fight and leading up to that point. How was that feeling, and what were you going through?
I was actually more excited.
Mm-hmm.
I was more excited to just take that big step.
Yeah.
My training for that fight was crazy. My training was crazy. That was my first time training the way I trained.
Mm-hmm.
For that. This just tell you, like, if I train hard as hell as an amateur,
Yeah.
just know how I'm training as a pro. You know, so like, that right there was my first time. I'm like, nah, I get paid for this.
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I put my everything into the training, and it was just nothing but hard work, and it showed. It showed in the ring. The crazy part is that being so conditioned, you would expect somebody to like deplete as the rounds go.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually feeling stronger as the rounds went, and I was fighting hard. So I'm feeling like, yo, I'm catching my second one.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like catching a third one. I was just like, yo, I'm getting stronger and stronger. And I knocked him out. We couldn't keep up.
I could imagine, but that's a well-conditioned. Like sometimes, do you consider yourself a slow starter? Or do you go in there and you ready to go as soon as the bell ring?
I'm not gonna say a slow starter. I'm more of a thinker. So I'm gonna pick the tempo up. I'm gonna pick the tempo up to see where you at with it.
Mm-hmm.
Then I bring it down to bring it way back up, to bring it a tiny bit down. So I'm really playing with you. It's like my motto, like swim or drown. So it's like I'm playing with you like a shark. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
I want to see if you can swim. I want to see how you can, you know what I mean? How you shred the waters, and then once you get there, I'm gonna drown you.
So speak on that, swim or drown, because that's your Instagram tag, swim or drown. So where did that motto come from, and what's the meaning behind it?
The motto came from just growing up and doing like hard sparring and being around and just putting the work in every gym that I've been in.
Mm-hmm.
And I always used to tell myself like, yo, we ain't drowning for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day I'm sitting there, I'm like, swim or drown. Cause I'ma always swim. And I'm like, yo, we need to put that on t-shirt.
I like that. So we just mentioned like gyms that you go to. What was a gym that you went to, or just some hard sparring or something that you dealt with, you know, on your way up?
The hardest training camp, I'm gonna say the hardest training camp I ever been to was, I had a training camp in Philadelphia, in North Philly. That was the hardest training camp, because I was waking up every morning like, yo, somebody's trying to hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like I come in the gym like, yeah, let's get this work. Ain't no work. Ain't no work. It was like
somebody coming at your neck,
coming to break me. You know what I'm saying? So being the person that I am, with the mindset that I am, I step up. Like the way you feeling, just know I'm gonna outdo that. So if you coming to break me, you know what I'm trying to do to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So with that mindset, it's crazy, because I was stopping like majority of the people I spar.
That's real.
Stopping them, because I'm like, oh, you trying to hurt me? You trying to stop me from doing something I love?
That's real.
Now I gotta show you how. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
That was my thing.
That's real, because like I just said, remember how we opened up, that when you walk into somebody's gym, they looking at you like, yo, this is work.
Food.
Yo, for you to go to somebody else's gym, guarantee, ain't from out of state. So forget going to somebody, you going out of state to somebody's gym. Guarantee when he walked into that gym, I mean, I remember walking into a gym, it felt like that movie when the record skipped and the music stopped and everybody just look at you, and I'm looking like, oh, all right, like I see what it is when we walk in the gym.
Yeah.
So you go into a whole nother state.
Whole different attitude, whole different everything, and just to walk in your gym out of state talking about some work.
Exactly.
It's disrespectful.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
everybody, I guarantee everybody in the gym was like, nah, I want him.
The thing is, I went up there with Michael Grant.
So he gave you the cosign.
Yeah. So people were like, oh, he coming with Michael Grant. Oh, he must. Let me see what he doing. See what he do.
That's an even bigger target.
Yeah.
They looking at him like an even bigger target. So Michael Grant, former heavyweight champ, right?
Yep.
So he's a former heavyweight champ. Him bringing him bringing somebody to the gym is automatically gonna put a target on his back.
Yeah.
And they looking like, yo, who's this?
You know what I'm saying?
So, yeah.
So, and you know he's from over there.
He from North Philly?
Yeah, he's from
Alright.
Philly. So they looking like, hey, yo, Mike, who you bringing in? Like, cause they look at him like, you know, that's Michael Grant.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? He put in his work.
Yeah, exactly.
So for him to bring me to the gym, they looking like, oh, he bringing him. He must be some work. Then let's find out.
Yeah.
Let's see who they think they saying he is. You know,
Yeah.
so and just with that mindset, that pressure, and I work very well under pressure. So it's like that's my home. That's where I like to live.
When they putting pressure on you, what's your mind state when you?
I need that.
Yeah.
I want that.
Uh-huh.
Like it's a crazy thing because some people they fold under pressure. Me, I live there, so
Yeah.
it's like that's when I feel the most smarter, the most stronger, the most. So if I don't feel like I got pressure on me, it's like why am I here?
Yeah.
You know?
Like we just.
Why am I here?
Around.
Yeah. Nah, I need that pressure.
Uh-huh.
Cause that's gonna make. Now you finna get the real me.
Got you.
Yeah.
That's real. So where were you at in your career at that point? Were you?
I wasn't pro.
You wasn't pro. So
I was
you,
amateur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's real. That's real. Stuff like that is underrated. I think just in boxing, period. Like you need to be put in the water, like you said, like
put in the water,
put in
for
the
sure.
water, see what's gonna happen, like because once you get to that pro level, you see people who come in and it's like, oh, this undefeated fighter is 6-0, and you know they put him up against somebody else 6-0. That's gonna be the difference in who wins that fight and who loses, because this guy has been going through
The trenches.
Yeah, the trench. Exactly. So that's real. That's
Yeah.
real. Let's move forward to you just basically settling in as a pro at a new weight class at that. So what was the biggest adjustment that you had to make at this point?
Just not eating as much as I used to. Having to just keep that weight. I ain't gonna lie, like when you're going down to a low weight class, you got to deal with the physical stuff that's to your body, that come with it. So like having just to deal with that is a battle of its own. It's a fight of its own. So once you get through that, everything just like smooth sailing.
Got you. Yeah, I could see the differences. I remember. I know I came to the fight. You had a fight here. There was a lot of people in that card, a lot of good people. Matter of fact, I mentioned it in the last interview with B. You was on that card. Malik Montgomery, like it was Carlos Jack. Everybody was on that card, and I remember seeing you. Was like, damn, like you could see the difference. Like as soon as I saw you, I could see the difference because you were, you were a lot leaner than when I saw you last.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I could definitely see the change, but yeah, you still was thumping. Like when I saw the fight, you was still thumping. So yeah, it didn't take much away from the physical aspect of what you bring to the table.
Yeah, because once you embrace it, once you embrace it, your body embrace it, then it's just you won't perform.
Got you. So let's move forward to where you are now, because I know that recently you had to deal with a tragedy.
Right.
That changed, how you're moving forward. Yeah. So we mentioned his father throughout the interview, and he recently passed. And before we get into everything with that, I just want to say that I took that hard as well, because I started boxing really late, and I was decent I was pretty good for where I started, but I was just decent overall, as when it came to boxing. But when I saw his pops, anytime I saw him, no matter if we was at a fight, if he was coming to the gym, like he treated me like I was Floyd Mayweather. So, I look forward to seeing him anytime I went somewhere, because it was so much love through him. I had a special relationship with Hakim from the jump. His little brother, who you'll see shortly as well. I didn't know him much because he was younger than us, but he was somebody who, if he was associated with those two, it was love, when I saw him. So, that was a loss that I took hard, and I think Atlanta as a whole, because everybody in a family is a fixture or a staple in this boxing community, where the boxing community is small, so we got a lot of love for the people who's here, and you know, it was tough for me personally. So with you, how are you moving, or how are you moving forward with this?
It's you know, it's hard. You know what I'm saying? It's never gonna be easy. But there's one thing that always stick with me that he just used to tell me is like this shit don't stop. So I keep that in my head.
That's real.
And I just know that every day I wake up, I gotta go 10 times harder than I was.
That's real.
10 times harder than I was.
That's real. And I know that's a special thing. You know, for somebody who dealt with that as well, you know, to know that you're still on the right path to keep moving forward, that's special in itself. So when you are having a down day where you feel like, you know, I'm sore, I'm beat up, I'm tired, or, you know, however you're feeling when you wake up, what is it that gets you over the hump so that you're like, nah, I still gotta get up, I still gotta work? Like, what's your mindset?
I mean, and you know, them days come, you know, I be feeling like I don't want to do nothing, you know, but I also gotta remember what he used to tell me, you know what I'm saying? So, like, as much as you want to feel this type of way, but honestly, my pops used to prepare us for these days, so it ain't like it wasn't something that we wasn't prepared for, you know what I'm saying? So, but when them days come, I just think about things that he'll tell me, and I think about it and just go crazy. I take on the world now, you know.
And I think, you know, the crazy thing about it, like when you really think about it, is that those days are usually your best days. Like when you wake up and it's like, damn, I don't feel like dealing with this, or you tired, or you beat up, or, you know, whatever happens the day before, or however you feel when you wake up. Once you actually get going, it's usually your best days, where you might run that extra mile.
And then once you over, you be like, damn, you did do that.
You really did it.
You did that.
Exactly. So sometimes those are your best days. Right. So after your father passed and you decided you were gonna get back, or you was fit to get back in the ring, talk me through that first sparring session, which is basically what we showed in the beginning of the interview.
That day that I went to spar, mind you, I didn't train for like a whole month, and probably damn near 2 months. Going through like some depression shit. But I walked into the gym that they was in, and I'm telling my brother, like, I don't even want to be here. Like, that's my mood. Like, I don't even want to be here. I just got my stuff here, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, I don't even want to be here. Just the hearing of everybody in here just making me, like, my, how you say it? Like, I was giving me jitters just to be there, because like my mind is trying to figure out, like, telling myself like something's missing.
I
like something's missing. Like you in the gym, but something's missing. So I'm telling my brother I don't even want to be here. But he's like, yo, nah, you have to get back doing this. Like, you gotta get back to the ring.
Not telling you that.
So I looked at him like, yo, you right, bro. I was like, you right. So my uncle and the guy's coach, they was like, yo, he'll get in there and work with him. So I'm like, yeah. I go to my uncle, I was like, yo, listen, I'm not doing too much. I ain't been doing this. I'm gonna just go in there, work my jab, and move my head. So I get in there and I do exactly that. I work my jab, move my head, work my jab. I'm not throwing nothing fast, nothing hard. Obviously, this guy, he don't know me, you know? So I just feel him feeling himself, throwing fast jabs, trying to throw hard uppercuts. So the bell ring, I go back to my uncle, I'm like, yo, like he really trying to touch me up or something. So he was like, yeah, you might gonna have to show him a little. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna really work my jab now. So now I'm really working my jab. But you know, competition, somebody's gonna elevate. So when I go out there, I'm really working my jab. I can hear it in his voice. I've been doing this so long. I can hear it in his punches, the way he throws punches with. He's really trying to come up now. me, this is what I've been doing since I was a young boy. You know, I turned up there. I'm like, okay, now I'm about to show him exactly who Hakim Tito Lopez is. The swimmer drown. Like, I'm about to show him exactly that. So I just switched on. I read his whole body. I seen that he keep his head down on the right side. He steps to the right all the time. Well, he steps to his left all the time, to my right. And I'm like, oh, it's easy work. So I just set him up with the jab to the head, stab to the body. And what that does, that make a fighter put their hands down. And I did it 3 times, so he'd think that is normal. It's just a natural thing. Did it first time, drop his hands, ain't nothing come. Second time, he drop his hands, ain't nothing come. So now he think in repetition that like, he gonna stab here, I'm gonna drop my hands, nothing's coming. The third time come, body, didn't even touch the body, that just came on top. It was just like a reaction, so he followed through with the right hand, and then it was over with.
That's it, and that woke you back up?
It woke me back up, it's like, yo, like this is what I do.
This is what you're supposed to be doing.
Exactly.
You started getting back to work.
Yeah. Get into it.
That's what's up. And Hakim Tito Lopez, so where's your ethnicity?
My ethnicity started with my pops.
Okay.
He's Puerto Rican.
Okay.
And that's where I got that name from.
Got you.
Hakim Tito Lopez, I got it from him. And my mom, she's African American. So I got like the best of both worlds.
Best of both worlds. That's dope. That's really dope. And moving forward, what's some things that you're looking to accomplish in the near, and you could do near and far future? What's
near I plan on having way more fights than I do now. Definitely fighting in the top 15s. And then future wise, I plan on showing the world that who I am. You know, so that's really my main goal, is to show the world who I am, and to like prove to myself that with this chip on my shoulder that like, nah, I can, like, this is where I belong. This is what I do, and this is what I've been training for since I was a young kid. So.
This is what I do. Like that stick with me. Like, this is what I do.
This is what I do.
It's real. It's real. And what's the pinnacle of success that you want to reach as a whole? Like when your career's over, and you know you're sitting back with your kids, what's the pinnacle of success that you want to show them that you achieved?
Generational success, generational wealth. I'm big on that right there. Like having everything in order for not just my generation of kids, but theirs and then theirs. So if I could start that now with that mindset now, then there ain't no stopping me.
Real. Yeah. That's real. And I know in your gym there's kids who look up to you. After this interview, I'm hoping that there's kids who look at you as an inspiration for stuff that they're going through. What's advice that you would give to them?
As far as like boxing or just life?
Just if you could mix it together and give them just something
like
that's gonna push them to keep going.
Finish on E. You know, like finish on E. Like you wake up in the morning and you got all this energy. Like do everything with the most, you know, and go to sleep on E.
I like that.